We're back. It's Beer and a Shot with the Butcher, deep in the bunker of Lake Opakon. Beer and a Shot with the Butcher here with the Knicks Talk Trio. Call him Porzingis, 'cause he puts it in. They call him Porzingis, 'cause he puts it in around the rim. They call him Porzingis, he's putting it in from near and far. They call him Porzingis, you can call him the next Knickerbocker All-Star. Let's talk about that. The probability.
That's Butcher on the vocals and JC on the drums, in case y'all at home need.
You know, I think it's a real possibility. We're looking at the Eastern Conference Rookie Player of the Month. His efficiency is just going up. I'm seeing more of the same in less minutes. And the All-Star Game's halfway through the season, and we're a quarter of the way there.
Are we a quarter now?
We are a quarter of the way now. We're actually a half a game over a quarter of the season, just to be sure. That's good. I'm glad you're looking at those things. Seriously, though, 21 games in, 20 games in, these are all-star stats, and New York athletes don't usually have a problem getting on these teams. Are we looking at a possible all-star this year? I think we're looking at an all-star career.
We do if we don't have a winning record.
I think he's go ahead, Scott.
I'm sorry, we do have a problem getting these players on the all-star team if we don't have a winning record. This year, we might.
What do you think? Is this guy an all-star, or is he just having a nice beginning here? I mean,
he's an all-star.
Does he deserve an all-star game this year?
Whether he deserves it or not, he's got a really good chance of getting it.
He does. He's going to get it.
Just votes alone, I think he's going to do all right. I mean, there was a whole story running a couple weeks ago about a Latvian hockey player who made it into the All-Star game, and I'm not 100% sure on the details here, but at what level he was. But he was a really young guy.
Does he put it in?
Into the All-Star game.
Right around the rim.
The Latvians really came out and voted hardcore, so he's got a good chance from having another nation voting for him.
He's got Jeremy Lin votes?
He might have some Jeremy Lin votes, is what I'm saying. And not only that, he's going to have numbers and play to back it up.
Right.
You know, he's going to have a bigger sample size. You know.
And it's funny because usually when you see other media outlets covering the Knicks, it's never good. I'm scrolling through my Facebook and I see different sport outlets covering this kid. So the Knicks are getting a lot of positive press.
His international appeal, I mean, it's nothing like having the nation of China behind you, but you do have a lot of Baltic state nationals living in the greater metro area. And I think, you know, and I'm not, and I don't mean to lump all these folks together, but I mean, I think if you're talking about Estonians, Lithuanians, Latvians, you know, any Eastern Bloc nations, I think there's going to be an interest there.
On top of the New York vote. And I'm telling you, there's so many different media outlets are covering this kid, everybody's eating him up.
Well, fuck the fakakta system and getting him on there. What do you guys think? I mean, is this guy one of the best forwards in the East?
He deserves it.
He's got almost 14 points. 1 assist,
2 blocks,
9.3 rebounds a game,
which is
2 blocks a game. I mean, who else is doing this in the East? How we saw last year.
And who else is improving a team?
Well, I mean, he's all rookie team, no doubt. He's leading all rookies. Right now he's leading all rookies in rebounds.
The only thing that can stop this kid is an injury. Knock on wood.
Well, rookie of the year, I don't
got some good numbers.
I don't need rookie of the year to validate what's going on with him. You know, if Towns getting more minutes on a less successful team really pumps up his numbers and gets it, that's fine too. I think Towns is a comparable talent. I think Carlito, and I would have loved Carlito on this team.
Yeah, we would.
I think you know the thing with Porzingis is just that's so impressive. If you're a fan of this Knicks team, is he's doing it in a city that not everybody survives in. And he's doing the things that we all were prepared to forgive him before he even came into the league. He rebounds and he blocks.
He's Derek
like
Jeter-esque.
A motherfucker.
He's Derek Jeter-esque.
That would be a great guy for him to read about.
By that I mean he handles New York media. He carries himself well. He's not involved in scandals like his rookie brother.
His interviews are spotless. It's okay. We're faded too. His interviews are spotless. You know, they finally got him with some back page material the first time today. because he cut on the Nets a little bit. But you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck the Nets.
No, they headlined that. He said that lighthearted, and they tried to make something more
Which is
out
cool
of it.
that he said it. I'm glad that he said it. He's having a little bit of fun, you know.
You know
push
what?
the rivalry a little bit.
He said
some
it. He
fun,
said
kid.
it and went out there and got how
That's
many
it.
points and
And
how
he
many
did it.
rebounds
And he
tonight?
did it.
Exactly.
Right,
you know,
right.
I said it in the first quarter when I was watching the game with Melissa. The guy's got, he talked a little bit of trash. Robin Lopez talked a little bit, but it's all in good fun. But they came out today like they were not like tools after they said
Dude.
that.
By the way, did you guys see in the post where they was talking about the New York teams playing against each other, their records?
Yeah, rivalry week.
Yeah, and you saw that we only had one more win than the Nets. All those are from the Jason Kidd era, by the way.
Well, that
yeah.
doesn't really
Yeah.
matter, though, does it?
No, well, I'm saying, like, tonight it was nice to come out and beat the Nets. It just was.
Well, I just think tonight you saw what most people knew, which is the Nets and the Knicks are trending in two different directions. The Nets, much like the Knicks, don't have any hope through the draft the next couple years. At least we have one
Did they
pick
trade
over the
all
next
those
couple
to Boston
years.
still?
They did. They have no picks. You know, and I don't think...
How's Garnett and
I
Paul
don't
Pierce
think it's
working
the
out for
free
you guys
agent
now?
destination that everybody thought it might be when Jay-Z bought the team or bought a minority stake in it. Now,
But how fast did he bail, though? How long did he have?
well,
actually have
it wasn't
He
so
bailed
much
real
that he
fast.
wanted to bail on the team as much as when he wanted to start his agency to be agents to pro athletes, he had to sell his stake in the team.
So he didn't do it really because
He just got into a new project that prohibited
That's it.
him from
And by the
selling
way, I
it.
don't
This
mean
is
to get
another
off
project.
topic,
He didn't
but,
love the Nets. He wasn't really all bought in there.
but
like
back
he
in
was,
2010...
Whatever.
Old soldier.
He was a Nets owner, and I'll never look at him as anything different.
And he never should have said in that New York song with Alicia Keys, I'm buying LeBron and Dwayne Wade. That's
He didn't buy
tampering.
shit.
That's tampering, sir.
That was
and
tampering,
you should have lost
sir.
a fucking draft pick for it.
Your agents will never represent us on the Knicks Talk Trio, sir.
But they played that song at the Garden. When we went to see the Knicks, we were sitting 10th
Oh, I
row
love that
behind the
fucking jam.
basket.
That was a great game. We saw the sweat on Gallinari's head. When guys like us don't get that close. Maybe this podcast will get us closer one day. We're just average folks.
I didn't say it wasn't a jam, and I didn't say Jay-Z wasn't legit.
All I said was
as
he tampered.
fuck.
He tampered in that song.
He
talking
did
about,
tamper.
Talking about buying
He's a
LeBron.
tamperer. Have you ever listened to his lyrics?
His first two albums were incredible. Actually, they were playing him a lot today on the radio. I don't know if he got shot. I don't know if Beyonce left him. I don't know why they were playing all of his songs, but I'm thinking, man, Jay-Z, when I used to bump that Reasonable Doubt.
Dude, all I know-
And in my Lifetime Volume 1, man, could he rap.
I just hate a Nets jersey, whether it's New Jersey, whether it's Brooklyn. I get madder than Matt Barnes at a Derek Fisher barbecue. I just can't stand them. You know, that's what I hate. But you know, I don't want to be all filled with hate just right this second. It's got to be. Give me some love.
Oh,
baby.
you want the
Won't you
love?
Give me some love. What do you love? What did you love?
What did I love today? I loved all of it. It was all amazing. You know, what I really enjoyed seeing was our defense turning into transition offense.
Woo!
Easy buckets. We saw stops. We saw running. We saw scoring off of those stops. I loved all of it. The bloody motherfucking lot of it.
Chris stops. Hey, you owner of the Nets, right? Shut the fuck up.
Such a dirty little pie hole.
Give me the hate, JC. What do you hate?
It's hard to give him a hate
What do I
on such
hate?
a good win.
I hate.
Them calling
Yeah,
this a
that's
rivalry?
true. Lots of good stuff. Well, no, I'm okay. I wish it was a better rivalry, but I'm
No, Jason Kidd owned us in the 90s. Let's own it this time. Not the 90s. You know what I'm saying. The
Millennial.
decade later.
You got no hate?
I don't have a whole lot of hate in me tonight. I'll
I
come
got
up with something.
hate.
I always got something. I'll come up with something. Yeah,
I got
take
some
it.
hate.
Take the
Derek
hate from
Fisher's
me.
green tie.
Nah,
that's selfish.
Should
Stop
not be
that.
wearing green, and I agree. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I bet Walt said something on the broadcast tonight. I couldn't tell.
wears green,
I was
too.
neck deep in
Walt's
a
fucking
paint a
suits.
bear. I'll tell you what I hate. I'll tell you what I really hate. And I'm gonna call somebody out now who I am not a fucking pimple on this guy's hiney, but I'm gonna call out Chris Broussard. I'm not exactly sure how I'm supposed to say it,
Well,
but
it's French.
when asked today,
I think it's Broussard.
when asked today about Kristaps Porzingis, you know, he went back to the same things, comparing him to the same players, completely ignoring the fact that this guy has been
Running the muck.
a defensive player, a rebounder, certainly not the stereotypical finesse, European player that everybody, including myself, thought he was coming into the draft. And, I just got something to say. When was the last time Chris Broussard or our other guy, Stephen A. Smith, got something right?
Chris Broussard sounds like somebody tied his tie too tight.
Yeah, somebody tied something too tight on that boy. I'm just saying, if you don't like that guy and what he's doing right now, Kristaps Porzingis.
He's not watching the fucking games.
You know what? Then you got a problem besides the way that guy plays ball, and I'm just going to leave it at
You think he's a Baltic racist?
I think he is.
Yeah.
I think there's a little ginger in Kristaps Porzingis' hair. I'll give it up to another guy, and I'm dropping a lot of pros names right now. Time for another shot since we're getting so loose. I'm going to give it up.
Kristaps, he pours it in, so I'm going to pour it in.
Oh, he puts it in. Porzingis pours it in. Let me tell you something. I'm going to give it up to Dan Lebitard.
Beer in 2 shots.
Dan Lebitard, who no longer drinks beers and shots, God bless him. But, he brought up an interesting thing today. The only acceptable racism in the media is against a ginger. It's the one thing that any athletes can say. So I'm going to open it up to everybody. Is Blake Griffin fair game? Is a black ginger fair game for racism? Because,
let's
me, I hate me some racism.
Blinger.
Well, is Blinger politically correct?
Blake Griffin is
if you're a
putting
black ginger, are you a
on the map
Blinger,
right
and is
now.
that okay?
Blake Griffin is putting.
I am not trying to breed any
now.
hate. And by the way, that hair would look great in the blue and orange. So I'm not hating on Blake Griffin.
And I pass out of the post.
And I am certainly not hating on any of my brothers and sisters in this club.
I would trade for him for sure.
But I'm just saying,
It's impossible, but
ginger is acceptable racism in media. Blinger doesn't bring me over that line, right? Because I certainly have no hate in my heart for anybody.
You're bringing up. We mentioned trading. We would love to have traded for Blake Griffin.
And listen, we got 25 guys in Utah listening to us. We can talk about this openly.
But you mentioned a trade earlier to me today, which was pretty intriguing. I think it was yesterday. Derrick Rose.
Yep.
Noah is one of my favorites.
What was
Derrick Rose and Noah for Calderon and Anthony.
Noah's one of my favorite centers in the last 10 years, by the way.
But he's broken down.
I would never take Derrick Rose, even if I got Noah.
I'll tell you.
But the thing is, and I thought that way at first. I really, really did. I was like, are you kidding me? I texted you guys.
You're dumping Calderon.
Terrible.
You're dumping Calderon, though.
You're dumping Calderon.
It's a 2-for-1.
But Derrick Rose doesn't have to be the Derrick Rose of Chicago where he's carrying a team.
we need that
He's
position.
He's a bitch on and off the court.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I can't argue with that whatsoever.
Listen, I don't want any fucking part of the trade with the game Carmelo's been playing. But if you had asked me at the beginning of the season, even with Rose's injury problems and even with Noah's injury problems, I would have taken it because I didn't believe that Carmelo Anthony was going to do the Paul Pierce thing and stop just being a shot taker. And JC, I'll give you all the credit in the world. If you guys go back to our debut shows preseason, you said when you surround him with the right athletes, he'll do the right thing. And he's the little brother of the league, I guess.
Listen, I like the way our guards are playing. They're okay. But if we're going to go to the next level, we need a better guard, a real guard. And I don't want to give up Carmelo Anthony for Derrick Rose. I don't at all. But if we have Carmelo Anthony, if we had Derrick Rose in the team, it would take us to that next level that we're talking about.
Well, without Carmelo, though, would it?
No, with Carmelo.
Yeah, we need a point guard.
He's a guy that I'd be interested in. I don't, at this point, want to get rid of Carmelo.
Let's segue, that's a trade opportunity.
Let's go to the West Coast here.
Possible free agency this summer. Everybody's talking about, obviously, the biggest name, Kevin Durant. I think he's a terrible fit next to Carmelo, although Carmelo's a little more workmanlike than he's been.
He's a ball stopper.
But, not just that. It's just two similar styles of play.
It's like Melo and Iverson.
There's a big drop-off after Durant. A guy I'd be willing to overpay for is Conley.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not with Durant on this. That doesn't work on this team.
2 years ago, if you asked me, I would have jumped at it. Right now, I'm not.
If we're trading Carmelo for Durant with some other pieces, then that's a different story, But
Conley's going to be a free agent this year, and this is a guy that's going to give you 36 minutes, tons of defense. He's a clutch shooter and a relative good scorer. I think you're going to see Carmelo dip under 20 points sometime in the next couple of years, although not much because he's got a knack for the basket. He's already over 21 this year. But regardless, you add Mike Conley, who's going to give you a solid 14 a game. He's going to play mad defense. He's going to distribute correctly, and he's used to playing with bigs. That's the guy in the free agent class I go after. What do you think of Mike Conley's name on the Knicks roster? And what do you guys think as far as other point guards that you think fit well with this team?
I think Mike Conley takes us to the next level. You got a guy like Mike Conley on the team, and this team becomes an Eastern Conference championship contender. It becomes a possible championship team. Listen, and I'm the last guy to talk about this kind of stuff with the Knicks. I'm not a pipe dream guy. You guys know me. I'm a realist. But Mike Conley will bring us to the promised land. That's the piece that we're missing. Is defense, offense. This man can kick it.
Can he kick it?
Is this what it's turned into us? He could definitely kick it. There's going to be a lot of money to spend this year.
That's exciting.
I think what you're going to see with a small free agent class next year, and there's a big drop-off after Conley. I mean, Dwight Howard can opt out. I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole, and bigs are not our problem.
He's a bigger bitch than
and
Rose.
bigs are not. I mean, he is. I mean, fucking Dwight Howard and Harden, natural-born coach killers. I mean, just
throw Rondo on the team.
You know, Howard's never had a better year than he did under Van Gundy. And, you know, some guys...
I hated him for it. He was so mad at him for making him a
Jeff
great player.
Van Gundy.
He's mad right now whenever Harden, you know, does anything. It's just...
Listen, you should be mad at Harden at least 4 or 5 times a game. I don't even care if you win, because he gives up on defense all the time.
I know.
So atrocious. And this is a guy who clearly is capable of doing amazing things. He could be LeBron-esque on defense. He has that kind of athleticism and ability.
I didn't realize how bad he was on defense until he left Oklahoma, and he didn't have all those offensive numbers hiding it.
Well, you know, in their playoff run, there was an intensity there because of some of the anger between the squads, and you saw Harden stepping on defense. And, you know, the other thing is, Kevin McHale, you know, was the type coach that was demanding defense.
How are you going to fire him? What a
Listen,
mistake.
Inmates running the asylum. Inmates running the asylum.
Sounds
and
like my job.
I'll tell you one thing, and let's roll back to the team that really counts here, the New York Knicks. Derek Fisher has stayed his course.
I love Fish.
There's been a lot of second guessing about starting lineup, a lot of second guessing about substitution with us more than anybody because no one cares more than we do.
True.
But he's stayed his course. I see a vision.
It's a long-term coaching scheme. It's not a win the next game scheme. It's a long-term scheme. It's looking down the road.
They said that the whole time. Respect the journey, and they said that from day one.
You know, and it's funny though.
Phil, by them I mean Phil and Fish.
But this has been kind of instant. I mean, we're way ahead of schedule here, guys. I mean, we're on pace to be in the playoff. And I'm not, listen, it's a quarter of the way in the season. A million things can happen besides just injuries. It's a half game over the quarter of the season. You know, so I mean, nothing's set in stone, but, you know, let's say everything continues to trend the way it does. I mean, we're way ahead of schedule with Porzingis. We're way ahead of schedule with Porzingis. We're way ahead of schedule with Porzingis. We're way ahead of schedule with Bloxingis. We're way ahead of schedule with Swatzingus. We're way ahead of schedule with Porzingis and the rest of the team. The bench is playing much better. And pretty much all of the guys we've signed or traded for have worked out. At what point do you say, hey, if we make a big move for a point guard this season, are we a contender this season? You know, if all things are the same. You know, if you put a Mike Conley on this team this year, if you put a Westbrook on this team this year, how low can you go? Does a Rajon Rondo make a difference on this team?
No.
If
you look at,
he's on a 1-year deal. He slides off the cap next year.
No, stop it. Stop with the Rondo talk. No, Rondo, you keep your ass in Sacramento.
Plays defense.
Or wherever
How many
the
more
hell
years
you
does
are
Rose
right now.
have on his contract, Derrick Rose?
That's the thing. You take Rose, you're in that trade for Carmelo and
No,
Carmelo.
you can't. Rose only works if there's a Carmelo.
Is a cancer.
You're talking about a guy who signed a max deal 2 years ago, so I think he's got 4 years left.
No.
I don't know if he could stay on the court. I don't know.
Away.
Well, I mean, listen.
Go bang some dudes in a hotel room with a chick. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh. You know, we heard that this gentleman got caught in a hotel room with a chick having sex with a lot of people. We assumed you're an NBA player.
Females.
Right, you're an NBA player. You're in there with a bunch
girl
of women.
with your buddies.
I don't get it.
You're Derrick Rose. Why
I just
you
never
bring your
picked him
buddies to the hotel room?
I never picked him to be that much of a team player, frankly.
You don't have to pass the ball in the bedroom too, Derrick Rose. You can be a ball hog in there, man. You don't got to share with your buddies.
Nobody said that he shared. They could have just been watching. He might be that big of a dick.
Well, just you know, Derrick. You know, I'm like, oh, Derrick got caught with a bunch of sexual partners. I'm like, he's banging a bunch of girls up there.
Yeah, God bless him.
Yeah. Then I found out you let your buddies. Come on.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. I'm not
if you're one of his buddies.
I got love for all my delicate flowers out there too. I'm just saying you come off kind of hard and you bang girls with your buddies. That's all.
That's what I'm saying. We're not. Yeah, I don't want to come off sounding like hatred towards any kind of sexual orientation. That's not where I'm coming from. All I'm saying is...
Also, my earlier comments are seeing a lot more in tune
You're
with
Derrick
the whole
Rose. You don't have to share. You should be up there with a bunch of girls, not going, hey,
which tells you one thing.
You guys hang out with me
if he doesn't have to share, then he likes to share. I think you should
take... It ain't no fun if you're homies.
Listen, if Derrick Rose could take that attitude to the court, that'd be what... You know who doesn't like to share? Who doesn't like to share? Matt Barnes don't like to share. This is radio, and I'm mouthing the answer to these two dudes, and they can't pick it up.
The answer to Scott's question. He knows his own answer.
Oh, who's Scott? Anyway, I think that wraps it up for a late night version of Beer and a Shot with the Butcher, the Knicks Talk Trio, B-Side, and JC. Won't be picking it up again for about a week. All you folks, YouTube channel, Butcher Baker, keep checking us out. Expect some new things from us soon. And God bless, God bless, God bless, God bless. There is no God.